I'm Maddie.
I'm Karina.
And I'm Brendan.
And this is Everything But the Fairy Tale Sink. Today we are talking about a Netherlands legend / ghost story, the Flying Dutchman.
Cool. Do you want to introduce our guest?
This is my boyfriend, Brendan.
Hello.
Do you want to...
Huh?
What?
Do you
want to talk more about yourself, or do you want to just say hi? Are you going to be like Corbin and just tell your whole life story?
Oh, if I were to tell my whole life story, that'd be...
We don't have time for that.
Well, then I'll just say hi, I'm Brendan.
I will attempt to keep my Pirates of the Caribbean references to a minimum today, but no promises can be made. Though I think I got most of them out when we filmed the Kraken episode.
Yeah, hopefully this one we're not going to have to film twice.
That was neither of our faults. That was a corrupted file's fault.
That was not our fault.
Anyways, I have a table to accentuate my points that I can smash.
Good job.
Recommendations.
Okay. My recommendation is find a tea as we're going into the colder months that just like makes your throat happy. I'm drinking peppermint right now.
If you want to be a guest, like you have to sit. Anyways, my recommendation, because this episode is coming out the Friday before Thanksgiving, is participate in Shop Small Saturday, which is like the small business equivalent to Black Friday. Just, support those little small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
You have a recommendation? I know you prepared them.
I do. I suggest Psych, if you haven't seen it. It's like a detective show, but with a cool spin on it. Like he's a psychic and everything. And I don't know. I think it's like 7 seasons long, but it's already all out and they're still making movies and stuff. So
nice.
It's pretty cool.
Nice.
That was disgusting. Anyways.
You're disgusting.
I know I'm disgusting. Shall we get into it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is this our first ghost story that we covered?
No.
No.
We did multiple ghost stories during Halloween.
That's true, but like ghost story where this is more nowadays considered more of a ghost story than a legend. Anyways, this was hard to find information on that was not from the Pirates of the Caribbean Wikipedia page and or the SpongeBob Wikipedia page. Because honestly, I was looking and it was like, it was like captain of the Flying Dutchman is Will Turner. And former captain was Davy Jones. And I was like, no, that's from Pirates of the Caribbean. That's not historically accurate. Although my dumb little brain was like, yeah, this sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah. In 1641, Captain Hendrik van der Decken and his crew worked for the Dutch East India Trading Company, which we do see in Pirates of the Caribbean. And they were preparing to set sail back to Holland from the east. And they were supposed to sail around the Cape of Good Hope, which I think is like the bottom, like, you know, if you look at the continent of Africa, it's like that bottom part of it that goes, anyways, I know my geography. Anyways, so once the ship was near the Cape, a storm started to set in. And the crew was like, hey, we gotta turn around. This is like absolutely not safe for us to be sailing through. We just cannot be here. And Captain Van der Decken was like, nah, we are sailing until doomsday. He literally looked at the sky, yelled at the sky, I will battle this storm until doomsday. And battle this storm until doomsday he did. You know, the captain and his crew were continuing to sail through the storm, even though the crew was very unwillingly doing so. And they hit a large rock and heard a loud crack. And they were like, oh, this is pretty bad. Well, sure enough, their ship began to sink. So, therefore, the ship's fate was sealed. They sunk to the bottom of the ocean, and Captain Hendrik van der Decken and his crew became the Flying Dutchman and its ghostly inhabitants, hence sailing until doomsday.
So you said this was the Dutch East Indian Trading Company?
Yes.
So that's why it's called the Flying Dutchman?
Yes, and they were setting sail back to Holland. Because they were...
originality.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anyways, there is a second version of this story. So that was the first version. The second version is this guy was a Dutch captain, Flying Dutchman, again, really original with the names here. And this man was named Bernard Fokke, I think, Fokke. Anyways, he sailed, like the other guy, into a storm with his crew. And the ship, oh yeah, absolutely. You see a big storm coming towards you and you're like, I'm going to keep going. So the ship itself actually did not sink, but it did cause more ships to sink because it was being a reckless driver through that storm. And Captain Folk was known for his devilish speed through the water, and many people thought that he had actually traded his soul to the devil in a game of dice to gain the speed that he was sailing with.
Interesting.
So you play dice, you bargain your soul out to the devil, and then you kill a bunch of people.
Okay. Not
What?
to be the first one to bring up Pirates of the Caribbean in this, but is dice a thing in the Pirates of the Caribbean thing, or
Yes,
is
it
it
is.
just
Will
like
it-
the bonus features?
No,
They
Will
have
plays
dice
Will plays a game of liar's dice in
That's what I
Dead Man's
thought.
Chest, and he bargains his father's freedom
That's right.
and his soul. If he loses, he becomes part of the crew, but if he wins, Davy Jones has to let his dad free.
That's right.
Also, screw you for bringing up a point that I was going to bring up later on.
Oh.
Anyways,
Oops.
so on to the Flying Dutchman's appearances in literature. So the first written literature of this came to be in 1790, which is quite a ways after 1641. The first original story is said to have happened. And John MacDonald wrote a story. So going back to Folk's story, this is thought to be the inspiration for Samuel Taylor Coleridge's Rime of the Ancient Mariner, which was written in 1798. Which
Interesting.
I know is very important, but I honestly don't remember much about it.
It's an Iron Maiden song, and that's why I know it.
Excellent
I was
knowledge.
on that song.
However, in 1843, I know we have a lot of dates in this episode. In 1843 is when the story truly became a legend. Richard Wagner, I can talk today. Richard Wagner wrote an opera aptly named The Flying Dutchman. So this is where we get the name The Flying Dutchman. This guy was like, I'm going to write an opera about a pirate captain and his crew.
Wait, so before, was it never really referred to?
It was always like, oh, it's a ghost story, but it never really had a name. This is where they gave it like an actual name.
So before it was just like, oh yeah, this Dutch guy did some stupid things.
The ghost ship of whatever the ghost crew of whatever ship it was, that Vanderdecken was captain of, and then the ghost ship that whatever Captain Folk was captain of, it was the ghost crews of those ships. But in 1843 is when it actually got the name The Flying Dutchman.
Okay.
Yes. So in this opera, a cursed Dutchman was doomed to sail the seas forever, much like Vanderdecken's crew was. And the captain was also searching for love. So this is where we start to see in Pirates of the Caribbean, Calypso, this is where we start to see where they draw that inspiration from. So when the captain and the crew, so he eventually found love with this one lady who was like, yeah, I'm into that. And the captain and his crew did eventually take their ghostly forms, and they made a vow, the woman and the captain made a vow to each other that they would be together, you know, in life and in death. So because the captain's crew had become ghosts and the captain himself had also become a ghost, this woman went to a cliff, watched the crew sail away, and threw herself off said cliff to die so that she could join the captain forever and go up in the heavens, and then her soul would sail upon the ship with the captain, her one true love.
How romantic.
But also it's bad luck to bring a woman aboard a ship, so...
You're dead. What's gonna happen if you're already dead?
Fair point.
It's true.
Did you just point at yourself?
Fair point.
It looks like you pointed at yourself like I'm the worst that could happen.
I am a woman. If I go aboard a pirate ship, I am bad news. Anyway, so now we're going to talk about a famous sighting of the Flying Dutchman, and this is by ye old King of England himself, King George V, way back in 1880.
Okay.
What?
Trying to place like what year that would be.
I know, there's so many dates in this. We have 1641 as Vanderdecken's crew. Captain Folk doesn't have a date. In 1790, the story of a ghost ship was told. In 1798, the Rime of the Ancient Mariner is published. In 1843, we get the name The Flying Dutchman from an opera. And then in 1880, King George V is sailing along when he was a young lad. And he claimed to have seen a ghost ship in the distance from the bow of his own ship. So George said that himself and 13 total people, so 12 other people, I can do my math, 12 other people saw the ship as well. So it was like everybody saw it. And one man actually fell from the top of the ship because he was so in awe that he lost his grip and fell down. He did survive, but however, the next morning he did die. You good there? Was the way I was telling my story? Was it your thought process?
No, I'm laughing at this dude who was just like, ship.
Yeah, pretty much.
Appropriate moments. Sometimes it's okay.
Yeah, he lost his grip and he fell to his death. Well, he fell, survived, died the following morning. Anyways,
that's a horrible way to go, actually.
I was about to say, what a way to go.
This would be a fun way to. What does Yelena say? This will be a fun way to die, or a cool way to die. And then she's about.
This is much less. No.
Yeah.
This is a much less cool way to die.
Yes. Anyways, pop culture appearances, because the Flying Dutchman is a very, very popular ghost story. So in Pirates of the Caribbean, Davy Jones is captain of the ship with his little wiggly woo beard. And I put in my script that he and his crew have come to life have become one with the sea in astounding works of visual effects, because for 2004. No, that was for 2005, 6. It was pretty good visual effects. 2006. Hey, it was pretty good visual effects for the time. Anyways, in the story of Pirates of the Caribbean, Davy Jones and his crew are only allowed on dry land once every 10 years. And my favorite thing is when they're doing that very intense standoff, it shows everybody standing on the beach, and then Davy Jones is standing in a bucket of water.
In a bucket.
He's in a little bucket. Davy Jones falls in love with Calypso, much like Richard Wagner's opera. That is really hard for me to say. Sadly, they betrayed each other because Calypso grew big and caused a big storm. And anyways, in Dead Man's Chest, which is the point that Karina brought up earlier, Will Turner does indeed play a game of liar's dice, which is said to be inspired by Folk's story where he, sold his soul to the devil in a game of dice. Moral of the story, don't drink with the devil, don't play dice with the devil, don't sell your soul to the devil, because remember the story
Don't cheat on the devil also. That was bad.
Also, don't cheat on the devil. We told a story where this woman cheated on the devil, and then he, it was bad. It was bad.
Why would you sleep with the devil?
He ate her fiance. Or no, she cut up her fiance, and then he ate both of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a trip.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so Davy Jones is killed in the third movie, and Will Turner takes his place because he stabbed the heart and then lost his own heart, which I would not want to be the person to perform open heart surgery with a sword. You just go, you pull his heart out, you stick it in sand. Super sanitary. Anyways, this is because the Flying Dutchman cannot sail without a captain. It must always have a captain at all times. Moving on to SpongeBob, because we got so off topic. So the Flying Dutchman in SpongeBob is a green ghostly ship with a green ghostly man who has a very evil cackle, and he doesn't he have a smelly sock?
I don't know.
I don't know. Doesn't he?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Anyways, he serves.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, the big green guy.
I never watched SpongeBob, so I had to look it up.
Okay, well, he serves as captain. He serves as the devil of the sea, and many times SpongeBob and Patrick and Squidward and everybody who lives in Bikini Bottom comes in contact with him at some point or another to bargain parts of their soul away to get things that they want. Believe it or not, the Flying Dutchman has also made appearances in Scooby-Doo and even an animated episode of Spider-Man in 1967.
Oh. Scooby-Doo makes sense, but Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo
sounds about right. Spider-Man, no.
I didn't actually Google that to see if it was true. I just found it on a Wikipedia.
I'm Googling it right now. Yeah, Spider-Man 1967, 13A, Return of the Flying Dutchman.
See, look at that. I was gonna say take what I say.
Oh my god.
What?
This guy's horrifying.
Anyways, now we're gonna get into some science. which we don't
Ooh,
often
fun.
do in science here. So while, it is fun to believe that there is this phantom ghost ship that sails the sea because some captain was like, I want to sail till doomsday, and I guess he got his Christmas wish. Wow, my laptop is at 1%, 4 minutes remaining. We're back after a brief intermission for me to plug in my laptop because it gave me a notification. Anyway, so the science, while it is fun and games to believe that there is, a ghost ship sailing the sea forever, I do actually have a scientific phenomena to talk about. And this scientific phenomena is called Fata Morgana, which occurs when light refracts through different temperatures in the air. This is similar to when you see heat waves coming off of hot asphalt. You see the waves of heat of asphalt, or you look into the distance and you see heat waves. That is what this is, but in a marine setting. So in the terms of the Flying Dutchman, Fata Morgana actually shows ships beyond the horizon.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures of it right now. That is interesting.
Yeah. And this is because light curves around the Earth in just the right angle to create these images. So you are actually seeing a ship somewhere else out there because of the way the light is hitting the Earth.
That's really interesting.
Or you could believe that there is a true ghost ship out there being captained by Will Turner at this point because he never gave it up. Anyways, so to wrap it up, while there may be a scientific explanation as to why the Flying Dutchman exists or why it could be a ghost story, I still would like to believe that there is a ghost ship out there. And the tales of misfortune to the sea, in the sea, around the sea are always more entertaining to talk about than, hey, because of this scientific reason, I saw a ship. But also it could be credited to lack of proper food and water, and your brain just starts to see things, hallucinations.
That's kind of what I was going to ask about King George is I wonder what conditions they were living in while on the ship.
Yeah.
If they all, it would probably be hard to say, but if it was all just a mass hallucination.
It very well could have been a mass hallucination of one person was like, hey, I see this thing. And then, oh my God, look, it's the Flying Dutchman. I don't even know how they decided it was the Flying Dutchman, but at that point they probably, or they could have seen an actual ship in the distance, and the stories of the Flying Dutchman at that point were known and had a name. But yeah, that is the wonderful story of the Flying Dutchman.
Cool.
What do you think? What do both of you think about all the information that I just knowledge dropped on you?
I would like to say that it could be real, but I just feel like there could have been probably more.
I brought in the science and your brain is thinking differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, you were on board the ship?
Yeah, exactly. I am actually a ghost.
Oof.
He's not
really exist.
My thought was kind of the same. It's one that I would like to believe in and I wouldn't necessarily rule out, but at the same time, there's so many other factors that could be playing into it. Basically, the ocean's a weird place, and I'm okay not knowing sometimes.
Yeah, I am, after finding out the science, like the Fata Morgana stuff, I am far more likely to believe something exists beneath the ocean where we can't really see it versus seeing something on top of the water, because that you can discredit to more things. Unless you're that one guy who was like, that wasn't a kraken, that was a seal.
Oh my God, that made me so mad.
Because seals are obviously the same size as a kraken.
They are.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyways, wishes.
Okay, I do have a wish. My wish is, this is coming out shortly before Thanksgiving.
The Friday before.
Huh?
The Friday before.
Yes. My wish is that when you have your Thanksgiving leftovers, that they don't get really old and you get tired of them real fast. Because we all know how it is on the third day of eating turkey, where you just don't want to eat turkey anymore. So my hope for you is that 3 days later, it still tastes good.
3 days later! Anyways, my wish is that if you celebrate Thanksgiving, because I know a lot of people don't celebrate Thanksgiving anymore and or don't see the reason to celebrate it, but if you do celebrate it, there's no family drama.
Ugh.
Although for some people, Thanksgiving is family drama.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope that there's no family drama for your Thanksgiving celebration.
Yeah. There will always end up being something.
Oh yeah, there will always be something.
Just
one can only hope.
Yeah. And then my wish, since it's almost Christmas season, is that people don't forget that All I Want for Christmas Is You is not the only Christmas song out there. There is plenty others. So you don't have to blast it every single day. Radio stations and Fred Meyer and Safeway and anywhere you choose to shop.
It's valid.
Multiple times on TikTok the day after Halloween.
Yeah, that too.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. There are other Christmas songs out there is what we're trying to say.
Please.
Better
Please.
Christmas songs. Anyways, what's next?
All right, coming up next week, we're going back to Russia for the first time in a while, and we're going to be talking about Baba Yaga, which is, it's a trip.
I'm looking forward to it, I say with extreme uncertainty because of some of the previous things you've thrown at me.
It'll traumatize you less than Dragons of Italy.
I was going to say, on a scale of 1 to Dragons of Italy, how bad will this be?
Significantly
Absolutely.
All I saw was the bloopers. and I
All you
think
saw was
that's
the
all
bloopers and me sitting under the blanket and crying. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, you don't need to know more.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're not. I can see if you're not subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, I will send... What should I send after people?
Mercenaries.
I will send mercenaries after people to subscribe.
Wow.
Remember that if we hit 50 followers on Instagram, which we already have, and 50 subscribers on YouTube, I will buy a poster of Loki. And if we hit 100 subscribers and 100 followers, Karina will buy a poster of Shang-Chi. If we hit 1,000 of each, my stepdad Steve will pretend to milk the plastic cow at Hagen. And wow, my hand movements are like visible on the bottom of the screen. And remember, as always, snitches end up in ditches. Go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, right? You're still posting on TikTok.
I think I'm going to make the official announcement that as of now, the website is not going to be updated for a while.
We're having issues.
We're having too many issues, and it's money that I can't really spend right now. So we will be putting more energy into our socials because those are free. So
Plus,
go ahead and
people
follow
look
us
at
on
those
there.
more than a website anyways.
That is true.
Farewell.
So
Toodaloo.
farewell.
Till next
I
time.
don't know why. I have had that song stuck in my head for like 3 days now.